On this episode of Fishing Edge, we continue our Weipa journey with my good mate Lee Hodgetts. And after a good feed and an early night, we're rejuvenated and ready for day 2. It's an absolutely beautiful morning up here in Weipa, northern Queensland once again. And Lee's put us on the spot. Not only a great place to camp, Australia's a great place to be. And we've got big things planned for today. Hopefully some barramundi and some beautiful estuary species in this river. The air's already warm. Where else would you want to be? Time to get the gear in the boat and start fishing. All right, that should be about right. Black Magic 40-pound fluorocarbon leader is my leader of choice today. The excitement's very high. Lee's boiling the kettle and then we're off fishing. The rods I'm going to use are 2 separate outfits, both the Akuma Seros bait casters, both loaded with 10 kilo Inferno braid from Black Magic, 40-pound fluorocarbon leader, as I said. And this one I'll use more for fishing my vibes and my big hard bodies. This one for the plastics and the more subtle sort of stuff. With the Trickster rod, it's 6'3" long. It's quite soft in the tip and it's absolutely perfect for just flicking a plastic gently along the bottom. When it comes to the tackle, got the Black Magic tackle bag. Everything's in it that we need. I've got plastics in the top, spare leader in the side, and then all the bits we need. Spare trebles, plastics, hard bodies, vibes, more plastics there in those Storm range that's just come out. And in this box here, we've got a whole lot of big, deep diving hard bodies and stuff to get us down deep to where those big bangers are hopefully biting. Things like your Thunder Barras, the new Arashi Minnow. Really excited to throw this. I've never actually put one in the water, but I reckon it's going to be a great barra lure. Anyway, boiling the kettle, it's coffee time, and then we're fishing. Catch it. Go and do it. All right, mate, this is a big piece of river. What is our plan and where do we start?
Okay, well what we're going to do this morning, we're just going to work our way up the river.
Yep.
Basically fish anything that looks good, so we're going to do some deep rock walls, snags,
sure,
mouths of rivers, so probably a fair bit of deep stuff.
Okay. Now just like any fishing situation, it all looks good, but you're just trying to find those prime pockets.
Yeah, exactly, just trying to find the honey hole.
That's it.
And yeah, we just work along,
yep,
spot to spot to spot.
And if you're trying to catch a big barramundi, which is what I always love to try and catch, rock walls and deep snags are prime spots to look.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll be using some soft vibes and some plastics and trying to get down nice and deep. And
beautiful.
Yeah, see how we go.
There's a rock wall there. Let's fish that.
Sounds good.
A nice, easy way to fish in many locations is to use the anchor. We use it a lot back home in Melbourne, but even here we've got this rock wall running down here, and this way we can just anchor up. The tide's running down and we can really pepper it, and then we'll move up 50 metres, re-anchor, and just fish that ground really thoroughly. I don't know what it is, but anyway. What do we got? Not the barra I'm after, but anyway, that is a northern or a pikey brim. Known because of the big fat rubbery lips, the black tips on the tail. And I suppose if you're into your brim fishing, that'd be the sort of thing you'd want to catch. Up here is just a bycatch while you're chasing the barramundi and the threadfin and all those sorts of stuff. What is it? He was right in there. There's a whole lot of bait fish kicking around in there. I just lobbed this little plastic, one of the new Storm Subaru shads in there. Nice. Such a great looking fish, Mangrove Jacks. That deep red coloration, those stripes, and a fish with a whole lot of attitude. They've got that jaw that flicks forward and those just grabbing, holding teeth. made for eating whatever they want. They love little bait fish and prawns and things like that, and they really are the king of the snags. They'll eat a lure, they'll come out, hit the lure, going back into the snag. This guy had plenty of pulling power, and he's all of about 1 kilo in weight. But I love jacks. They've got that big eye. They do a lot of feeding at night, a lot of looking up. Member of the Janet family, and also brother to the finger mark brim, or the golden snapper. I'll send you back, pal, to go and terrorise some more bait fish. What do you got, Lee?
Don't know, mate.
Barra?
No, he went hard at the start, trying to get me back.
Jack. It's like Australia's best non-fighting mangrove jack.
Oh, he gave me a little tussle at the start.
He's a nice fish too, mate. He's a nice fish, mate. No problems there. There we go. Look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful mangrove jack. That's a great fish, mate.
Good start.
Well done. He has just smashed that shadow wrap, and that's one of the new Rapala twitching minnows made for this shallow sort of stuff. And what makes that guy so unique is that when you twitch it, you can make it spin 180 degrees back on itself, so it actually can turn around to face whatever's coming to eat it. And they reckon that really turns predators on, because they just go, I'm going to have you head first. And it certainly worked on that mangrove jack. Those sticky little trebles.
Wasn't going anywhere.
That's it. Look at that. That is an awesome fish. Look at those teeth, made for grabbing and crushing bait fish and prawns. And you would have seen at the start when he was first lifted in, he was flicking his jaw forward. And that's what they do. They just go whack and they just grab stuff really hard and really fast. But we'll send this boy back. Well, he's back into it. I need to catch a fish. He's off. Slight change of tactics from the rock walls out in the main section of the river. Lee's brought us up to one of these arms, and here we're going to throw some hard bodies and flick some plastics for barra and jacks and all that sort of stuff. I mentioned earlier about my trickster outfit, which is a longer rod, softer tip, great for my plastics and soft vibes. The other outfit is the Storm Mojo. Bright yellow, looks pretty funky, works very well. It's shorter, it's a bit stiffer in the tip, and it's ideal for working your hard bodies and your deeper diving sort of stuff. When you want to get that good twitch out of the lure, that stiffer tip will help the lure to work better. If the tip's too soft, the lure just isn't as active. Either way, having a couple of outfits rigged means I don't have to change lures all the time. I can put a hard body in a snag, drop the rod, pick up the soft plastic and throw that in. Give yourself more options of getting the bites. Lee's just got the big motor running, and he's just idling us in and out of gear to find these little pockets. It's not about casting at every inch, just find those little gaps that you can cast into. We've got a sort of semi-steep bank here, and a really good thing you can do with something like this Arashi is get it in there, and I can either twitch it on the top like that, but if I give it one good pull like that, it dives it right down, and then from there I can just twitch it and keep it down in the zone. Getting it down that 4, 5, 6 feet, I think is going to help as these fish sit a little bit deeper, because we're right on the bottom of the tide at the moment. Yep, there he is. Just plucking away at these mangrove stands that are hanging down. These jacks love to sit in those shadows there. We've got a nice deep bit of bank here. It's one of these spots where you've got jacks, you'll find a barra. It's a real lucky dip. And I've changed my tactic from fishing just a shallow running Storm twitch stick, and I've flipped over to the Arashi, because I'll flip this jack in. It's a small lure, it's got a fat profile. This one dives 10 foot, but you can also just work it shallow, and that's one thing I think a lot of people don't realise, that you can make a deep diver run shallow when you need to, but you can also then get it down by just tweaking it. As soon as it hits the water, it stays up, but I'm actually pulling it, getting it to dive, and it hasn't taken too many casts to find myself with this beautiful fish. I'm gonna pick him up quickly because that deck's starting to get a bit warm. It's not good to lay that fish on his side on that deck for too long. Just a beautiful looking critter, quite an evil little machine. loves eating prawns and things like that. I'll pop him back and I'll show you this lure. Designed in the Storm factory and just so good for so many species. Down south, yellow belly, cod, things like that. Up here, barramundi and jacks, but it will also be good on things like flathead and stuff. That fat body gives it a really good profile through the water. You can always see it kicking and rolling. Very head down, tail up attitude, so it gets through snags really well. And most of all, it is very, very strong, which is what you need because the next fish could be that meter barramundi. But anyway, it's a great start. Let's get back to it. Doesn't matter if it's a hard body or a plastic like this Suparu shad, a bit of scent can and often does make the difference, especially when the fish are a little bit shut down like they are at the moment on the bottom of the tide. It can often turn that looker into a biter. There he is. Get him out of there, get him out of there. It doesn't take long to get that lure even just into that shadow, and that's where they sit. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Oh, another nice mangrove jack. Find it interesting, Lee, that the overall size of the jacks we've seen up here this morning are pretty good. Most jacks I'm used to are quite small, but
yeah, it's been a pretty good average size. Like I reckon, sort of early 40s to mid 40s has been the average. So
look at that.
Got to be happy with that.
Well, that's a nice jack. Happy to catch them all day long. And that's on that Suparu shad. In that nice greeny sort of bait fishy colour. See how they flick that jaw forward? There we go. Now, I'll pop him back. Just a really good looking animal. So evil, but so cool. And one thing you'll notice here, that 40-pound fluorocarbon black magic trace. I always check it just for scuffs and things like that, especially when you get a barramundi. A little bit of lip on that hook, but that's okay. But the main trick to my system here is just a 1/4 ounce jig head. Quite a big plastic with a very small weight to it. So it just gets a beautiful slow fall down the face of these snags and things. And that's what's sort of getting me a few bites at the moment. Check these straight, we're back in action.
Rightio, Lee, I'll get you to grab that anchor, mate. We're going to have a crack on this snag. Yeah, just ease him in there, mate.
We're back at one of the first spots we fished this morning, and while it was very quiet on the run-in tide, Lee said, I reckon it will fish better on the run-out. So we've come back, anchored up again, and we're going to pepper this whole rock wall and down through this snag. We'll just anchor up and keep moving up as we go, covering every inch of the water. How's that, Lee, the way all the bites come out off the bank a bit?
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, it's a cod. He's got me in there.
Oh.
Get out there. Why couldn't I do that to that barra? Just guide him around. Come on, how'd you come? Look at that.
Burger grips?
Yeah. Hey, how's that?
Swallowed it.
Big fatty. Oh man, that hook wasn't coming out. There we go, look at that. What a big fatty. Got him. Oh no, he's on that snag again. I'm going to back this pressure off. I just lost a massive fish, not a couple of casts before, on that same bit of timber. I'm just trying to go really gently here and edge him back because you can hear that noise. That is, oh, come on. He's not a bad fish. Oh, he's a good fish. He's not a monster, but he's a nice one. I'm just trying to guide him back. Just there. Oh, come on, mate. Hear that sound? The best thing is, though, there we go. Once I got him on that bit of fluorocarbon leader, I was much happier because while braid is as tough as a railway sleeper, when it touches something like oysters or whatever, it has absolutely nothing. That's where mono takes over, and something like fluorocarbon, like this Black Magic 40-pound tough trace, it holds up to that stuff much better. That is nothing on the one I just lost. The one I just lost was double that easily, but still, I'm happy with that.
Look at that. No wonder you got busted off. Check out how sharp all that is.
There we go. Look how silvery he is in colour. That's one of my favourite lures, the little Rapala Bx Minnow. It's a timber body lure with a plastic coating. Amazing colours, twitches beautifully, and it has no rattles, makes no noise at all. Absolutely beautiful. I'll pop these hooks out quickly because there's a fair chance there's more fish here. Look at that. Not a big barra, but one of our iconic species. All right, time for a change. And this is where having a couple of outfits is really handy. Down with the hard body, up with the plastic. And the next move from here that I'll probably go to will be either a really deep diver on the Mojo rod and a vibe onto this. But having these couple of outfits enables me to get straight back into the action. Get out, get out, get out, get out. What have we got? Maybe it's a cod or something. Come on. Come on. It's got a bit of weight to it, that's for sure. Stay away from that anchor. What have we got? Oh, it's a little black jewfish. Cool. Awesome. Love a bit of variety. Common up here, Lee?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're prolific, but yeah, you definitely can pick away at them if you try.
Nice. I'll take a black jewfish any day. Look at that. And that grunting sound that they make. Mulloway or jewfish of all sorts tend to make that sound. He's torn that tail off, and hopefully you can hear all that noise and carry on from this guy. Hear that? They call the mulloway down south croakers as well because of that noise, but this guy is the black jewfish of northern Queensland and the Northern Territory and all those parts of the world. They get really big. This guy's a little fella and he's going back, but they do love things like rock bars. There's something about rock bars that attract big barramundi and those guys. Oh, got him? I can't believe how much action there is in one snag. Nice, mate. Well done, Lee. Lovely barra, mate. Well done.
Look at this for service.
Now, when I'm guiding in Weipa...
I'm going to have to take you fishing more often, Mr. Rayner.
Oh, look, if you want to take me, I'll keep coming up here. It's a pretty simple formula, really.
Kick back, get everything unhooked.
Oh, man. There we go. There's your lure out.
Thank you. I'll have another cast.
Go for it, and I'll pop this guy up in front of the camera and show everyone that this is what the top end of Australia is all about. That yellow tail indicates this fish has been living in the salt water a bit, not up in the billabongs. How long do you reckon that one would be, Lee?
Oh, length? Oh,
yeah.
Got another one on.
Another barra? That's all right.
Yep.
That's all right. Oh, it's a bit better. That's all right. I'll just look after these. Oh, nice, mate. I'm going to pop this guy back and have a cast.
Give me 60, 62 for that one.
Nice. Oh, God. Oh, it feels groperish. It's a good bite, though. Great bite. Clobbered that thing. I don't know, those tail kicks are a bit quick.
Got a bit of a head shake to him, mate.
Yeah.
Ooh, did well getting him out.
Ooh, that big bruiser. What do you reckon, mate?
Time to do it. Time to go.
Oh, really? I suppose all good things come to an end. Weipa Sports Fishing, put that one in the calendar, give Lee a ring, because let me tell you, this part of the world, if you haven't been here, it's taken me 38 years to get up here. And I tell you what, I'm regretting it because it is too good, and I'll be back very, very soon. But we're going to be driving home in the dark at this rate, aren't we?
Yep.
All right.
We gotta go.
We're out of here. Lee Hodgetts, he's your man. I'll get rid of this cod, and it's home time.